So we're going to learn how to solve by factoring here, and before we can do that, we got to get this kind of important property down. It's called the product property. So basically, if I have an equation like this, right, and I say, okay, I know I'm going to multiply something by 3, and it's going to be 0. I'm just going to write that number down here. You can't see what it is, but I'm sure if you're guessing, there's only one number that's going to be underneath my hand that's going to make this equation true. Of course, it's got to be 0. That's an ugly looking 0. Multiplying by 0 is the only way to get 0. There's no way I could do like, I couldn't make this like a -3, right? That's a common thing some people will think, right? But that's -9. Those don't cancel out. The only way to get to 0 is by multiplying by 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to exploit that property. Basically, we're going to end up with two things that multiply together, and they're going to equal 0. From that, we're going to say, well, either thing A has to equal 0, or another option is thing B could equal 0. So we're going to split it up like that. So here's the equation we're going to try to solve. It's x squared plus 8x equals 20. We don't have any way to solve this right now. We can't like subtract 8x from both sides and do like the old divide by 2 and kind of try to like move things around. If it's quadratic like this, we're going to need a special strategy, and that's where the zero product property comes in. So before I was talking about, well, the 0 has that special property, right? But we're not equal to 0 right now. We're equal to 20. So that's the first thing I'm going to take care of. I don't want to ever be equal to 20. I want this right side to be 0. So I'm just going to subtract 20 from both sides to start off this problem. And often you'll have to do that. So my first step is now this equals to 0. So now I need to factor this. I need things that multiply to -20 and add up to 8. So positive 10 and -2 do that. So this thing factors to x plus 10, x minus 2. Okay. Once we're here, we've pretty much solved the problem. I've got two things that multiply together that equal 0. If you recall from the previous example, right, there's only two ways that can happen. Either x plus 10 equals 0, or x minus 2 has to equal 0. So I'm just going to solve both of these equations separately, right? Subtract 10 from both sides, and I get my first solution, that x can equal -10. Add 2 to both sides, and I'll get my second solution of x equals 2. Plug those into the original equation, you'll see that they both work. So remember, the key things in this step is, first you've got to get it so it equals 0, not 20. Once it equals 0, you factor this left side. And once you have it factored, you split it into two equations, and you solve.